Find the center and radius of the circle with equation in general form for a conic section. We want to round the radius to the nearest hundredth if necessary. Okay, so first off, we need to get this into standard form. Standard form for a circle is x minus h quantity squared plus y minus k quantity squared equals r squared. So we need a completed square form of x and y. We have x squared and x terms, so we need to complete those squares. Let's put them next to each other with a little space. We have y squared and y terms. Had we only had y squared terms, then we wouldn't have to complete that square. But since we also have the y terms, we need to complete it. And move the constant to the right. Okay, a nice pattern for completing the square. Half of the negative 2 is negative 1. We know the completed square form. Similarly with the y, half of 10 is 5. Y plus 5 squared. However, x minus 1 squared is x squared minus 2x plus 1. And y plus 5 squared is y squared plus 10y plus 25. So notice the 1 and the 25 that are needed to have these perfect square forms. These are the numbers that we have to add. Add 1 there and add 25 there to make a perfect square. Now that's easy to get that by just doing this negative 1 squared and this 5 squared to get those numbers. So the pattern, half of the negative 2 is negative 1. Negative 1 squared is the 1 that we need to add to both sides. 5 squared, 25, etc. And then 25 plus 1 plus 12 is 38. So we have the standard form now. The other approach to getting this 1 and this 25, so for example the 25, you take this 10 and you divide it by 2 and square it, and that gives you 25. Or you take the negative 2, divide it by 2 and square it, and that gives you the 1. This is the other approach to finding those numbers, and then you factor to get your completed square form. Now that we have the standard form for the circle, we can ask ourselves, what makes the square term 0? X equals 1 and y equals negative 5 would make the square term 0. That gets us our center. The radius is the square root of 38. This is the exact answer. I would accept that. But they also say round if necessary. I really don't know why this is necessary unless you're trying to graph it. But we can square root the 38 to get an approximation to the nearest hundredth. And we're looking at 6.16. Okay.